Hello everyone and welcome to my tips kit. If you're new to this channel, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button for new post notifications and update. And for more details, do not forget to check the links in the description of this video. Without wasting any much time, let's dive directly into our today's episode. So in our today's episode, we are going to be introducing you to top 2 tricky methods that you can actually use to improve the speed performance of your website as well as the SEO of that website. And of course, the first in our list is actually making sure that we compress our images on the site that we are actually using to reduce the load speed or delay, as making sure that the performance of the site is also being improved. And of course, if you come to your website, for example, let's say you are actually on your site. Here on the left hand side of your dashboard inside of your site, you can actually come to this section that says plugins and actually add on new. Maybe I will try to open in a new tab. I will search for image compression tools that I can actually use to compress images if I already have images on my site. And of course, one of the most weight images that we actually use on our post or site are actually thumbnails that are actually very heavy, and it is always good to make sure that they are lightweight so that it can easily load faster. And if you have so many images on your site, and of course, if you reduce the image sizes of each images on your site, you can actually improve the performance of that site by actually more than 30% or 20% to say. And of course, I'm going to show you another tricky method that you can actually use if you don't want to use plugins, because what I actually realized is that with image compression plugins, sometimes there are some sites that when you actually install these plugins to your site, what happens is after compression of these images, your website might have some problems with line of code, and because of so, your site might actually crash and some other aspects might occur. So for you to perform any image compression, make sure that you first of all back up your site so that if you have any issue, this kind of issue where your site is being tampered upon, then you can actually restore the backup of your site. You can actually restore your site to the previous version as it was. And of course, if you try to search for image compression, let's try to search for image compression. If you search for image compression, of course, you are going to see a lot of tools that you can actually use for image compression. And of course, one of the things that I actually do is when I actually come to this place and actually search for image compression plugins, what I actually look at, please make sure to always make sure that you look only for compatible plugins. Like here, you can see compatible. This plugin is compatible with the version of your WordPress. And if you look at this one on the right hand side, you can see that it is untested with your version of WordPress. Please do not use untested version. These are some of the reasons why your website might crash, and it might look funny if you try to run some of these, install and activate some of these plugins that have actually not been tested with the version of your WordPress website version that you are using. Please always make sure to use only compatible version, like compatible with the version of your WordPress. And what I mostly do is I always look for those tools that has a lot of ratings and a lot of installations. Like for example, here we have 200,000 active installations, and you can see that the rating is actually good, 5-star rating. I always make sure that I checked at the rating of that plugin, as well as the number of installations. You can see the next here is 100,000 active installation, but it's not good to always use this kind because it is actually untested. It can cause a crash of your website. The next one is 80,000. You can see image optimization and lazy load by Optimal. Of course, it's compatible, and they also have a 5-star rating. So always make sure that you focus your eyes on on plugins that are actually compatible with the version of your site that you are using, and they also have a good ratings as well as high installation rate. So this is what you have to do when you see any like as you have a list here. Make sure to select one of them, install. When you install it, make sure to activate it, and when you do so, the compression of images on your site will be done. And of course, this is one of the way you can actually reduce, you can actually improve upon the load time of your site performance, and making sure that it loads faster to search users who are actually visiting your site. But of course, there is another tricky way that I always use, which I'm now going to show you. And I prefer this way the most because it actually will not tamper with my site look, as well as causing some input of line of code that actually make my website to be affected, especially than using incompatible or untested plugins. So what I actually do is I actually use an online tool which is actually called Compresso. Of course, I'm going to show you why this site, this online compression tool is very relevant. Of course, whenever you are actually here, always make sure to leave it at loosey, or maybe some of you might go for looseless. Of course, if you use looseless, the compression, the image size reduction will be very, very minimal. And of course, loosey doesn't mean that it's going to be fake or faded too much. Of course, I'm going to show you an example of image that I've actually compressed with this tool, and show you the difference of size comparison when it comes to the compression. Of course, I will now open it, and this is it here. You can see this is the image, these two images. Now, I'm going to place my mouse on the first one here. You can see that the size of this image is 149 kilobyte. 149 kilobyte. And after I've actually used the tool, this is what I actually have as the end result, 41.4 kilobyte, and the difference is not much. So, and of course, I'm going to give it a try again to see how this actually perform. When you come here, just come to select files, click on select files, and they will ask you to select an image. Of course, here, for example, this is the image, 149 kilobyte. Just double click on it and it will be uploaded to this site, and the compression is going to take place. You can see 72% have been saved. You can see saved 72%, and now it has been converted from 149 kilobyte to 41 kilobyte. That is a big save. And if you want to actually if you want to take this image, just download this image to your device that you are actually using, and this is the image here. So this image, if you try to open or you can open show in folder, just click on show in folder, and you are going to see the file. This is the file here. Of course, yes, of course, this is it here. I don't know why it has not yet opened. Let me re-download again. I don't know why. Let me re-download. Okay, so it has been it has been downloaded again. Let me go to, okay, of course, now it has opened. This is it here. You can see, let's see the capacity. You can see 41.4 kilobyte, and the size has been reduced dramatically, and this is very important. And if you check on the site, the post that I created, this is it here. You can see this is the featured image of that. This is the featured image of what I've just downloaded. This is the featured image. And here, if you see here, there is another tool that I'm using from the back end, that after inducing this featured image here, I can actually use that tool from the back end to do the compression. But of course, I actually don't use the tool that much, because I actually use this website to make the compression. And when I have this compression, it is lightweight. And when I upload it to my site as a feature image, of course, I'll just leave it to be that way. And these are the ways that you can actually use to reduce image sizes on your website. And if you have a lot of these images on your site that have very big sizes, you can have as well go to each and every one of them, download them, use this tool and compress it to save a lot of size to make it lightweight and re-upload it to your site. And of course, when you do so, the load performance speed of your site will be improved, and this also contribute to SEO, of course. So the next in our list today, to make sure that we improve the performance or the speed load time of our site for SEO purposes, is to make sure that we enable we enable hot link protection. Of course, this actually can be found at the back end of your cPanel. So of course, I'm going to go to the back end of my cPanel. This is the back end of my cPanel here. I will go to it, and if you are here, what you need to do is to go to, of course, I'm sure that you have the cPanel control of your website. When you actually access the cPanel control, just make sure to go to this area that says security. Make sure to click on this hot link protection. Of course, when you click on hot link protection, by default, all cPanel by default, most if not all, but I'm sure all of them are actually disabled. And of course, here, when you come here, hot link protection is currently enabled. For mine, I've already enabled the hot link protection. For yours, it is disabled. So you have to make sure that you enable it. If you want to know the meaning of hot link protection, you can read it. You can read more details about it here. It is to prevent other websites from directly linking to your files. Of course, if somebody come to your site and try to quote images on your site, or try to embed some images on their own site while it is from your site, what will happen is that space and that of course, you can read it here to know more about it. What you are going to realize is that capacity of the space disk time used will be applied but to your cPanel or to your site. You can see as it has been explained here on the website, is the other site will still be able to link to any types that to any file type that you don't specify below. That is, for example, HTML file. An example of hot link will be using IMG, which are image tag, to display images from your site from anywhere else on the net. And what will happen is, the result is that other site is stealing your bandwidth. This is the word. This is actually the main word that I actually want to use, the bandwidth. And when other sites are coding your site or embedding images on their own site, it is instead the bandwidth of your cPanel that is being used. And when this happens, they are slowing down the speed load time of your site. And when this happens, it affects your SEO and the performance of your site when it comes to the fastness of site load. So of course, after you have done this, you can actually test the performance of your site or improve performance of speed by using websites like Pingdom. Before the test, you make sure that you copy the site link or your website URL, insert here, and make sure that you start a test and see the performance of your site in seconds. After that has been done, make sure that when you compress all the images on your site and everything has been done correctly, compressing and replacing them with the old images that you had before, which are very heavyweight, make sure that after compression and everything has been set to rightly, come again and retest the site. And what you are going to notice is the load time performance will be improved. It will be improved, and this is how you can actually improve the load speed, the time performance of your load time of your site or web page. And when you do so, of course, it's going to help with SEO as well. And this is how you can actually improve your website load speed performance, which is also contributing to SEO. So thank you very much for watching. If you actually want to see our drafted method that we have crafted for you, how you can actually improve the speed load of your the speed load time of your web page as well as SEO, make sure to check related links below this video description. So if make sure to also like and subscribe to receive new post notifications and updates. And see you again in our next episode. Bye bye.
And now I know my heart is a ghost town.